Hello guys and welcome to the first episode of a series where I'm making a new video game. This time I'm recording while making the game, so I have all the details of the process for you guys to see and make fun of me. So get yourself some popcorn, lay back and enjoy my suffering. So here's the game idea. I want to make a game like those old plane shooter games, where you're controlling an airplane shooting other planes and turrets, and you get upgrades that make you shoot more bullets. Yeah, that. But horizontal. Okay, so let's make a new project. Select 2D game, and now how to call it? Ship, game, space, something, I don't know, space, oh, I know. Space Destroyer. Perfect. And great. And now we need to wait 3 years for this to finish. So when that's done, oh, let's wait a second. Now let's finally start doing something. Oh, now it needs to import assets. Of course, yeah. Why did you not do that all together? Okay, breathe in, relax. It's just a loading bar, nothing important. Oh, look, it finished. Okay, so let's first create a player. So, 2D object, sprites, and triangle, because that's like a plane. Rename him to player, rotate it properly, no, not that way, that's good, and move him to the left because I want the enemies to come from the right side of the screen. To make him able to move, I need his movement speed, rigid body, and vector that will be which direction the player is moving. In the start function, I have set the rigid body to player's rigid body component. In update, I set the vector's axis to the horizontal input of the keyboard, and the same for y-axis. If the player is pressing W or up arrow key, the vertical axis will be 1. If he presses S or down key, it will be -1. And for the horizontal axis, right is 1 and left is -1. If none of the axes are pressed, it will be 0. In fixed update, I use the rigid body to move the player. It takes the current position that is also a coordinate, moves it by the vector, multiplies it so it goes faster, and multiplies it with time the delta time so it's same for all frame rates. Now if we try it in editor, it moves as expected. Next, I will make a bullet for the player to shoot, make it yellow, move it out of the way, and make it smaller. In order to make the player be able to shoot, we need a boolean for when he's shooting, fire rate, fire cooldown that will go down between shots, damage, bullet speed, movement direction, amount that it will rotate, and the position from where it will spawn. In update, I make the boolean be true when the left mouse button is pressed. In the fixed update, I checked if the boolean is true, and if it is, it checks if the cooldown is finished. So when it's finished, it starts a coroutine and puts the cooldown back to the fire rate. The coroutine spawns a bullet, declares its direction, then it gets its rigid body and rotates it properly, and then it waits 3 seconds before deleting the bullet. Then I added an empty object to the player that will represent where the bullet will spawn, moved it to the front, and assigned it to the script. Let's see how it works. So it does spawn, but they are not moving. Oh, I haven't added the rigid body to the bullet. So let's do that, and let's also freeze the y-axis. Now that we did all that we need with the bullet, let's make a folder for prefabs and drag the bullet into it. Now we can remove the bullet from the scene, but we need to reassign the bullets from the prefabs to the player script. I need a script that will control the flow of the game and everything that is not related to any objects. Stuff like game over, pop-ups, and so on. To do that, I'll make an empty object that will hold the script. For now, I'll make a boolean that will say if the game is over or not. In the player script, I'll add a serialized field for the script and use its boolean to make the script get the movement and shooting input only when the game is on. I want the game to freeze when you die, so I made the player vector to 0 when the game is over, and did the same for the bullet. And I have an error. So they can't use the boolean because I haven't made it public, and I didn't declare the game manager for the bullet. Okay, let's fix that real quick, and let's hope it works. After that, I just made some adjustments to the player size to fit it better. Now it's time to make some enemies. First, let's make a simple enemy, resize it, give it rigid body, set the gravity scale to 0, collision detection to continuous, and interpolate to interpolate. Oh, I also did the same for the player. Then add a hitbox and a script. In the script, I take the game manager and player, and I have movement speed, rigid body, direction, and health. In start, I set his direction and rigid body's velocity to the direction and make him faster with the movement speed. In update, I keep declaring his direction and make him stop moving when the game is over. And this part gets executed when there's a collision. First, it checks if the object's name is bullet, and of course if the game is on. Then it loses health and sees if the health is above 0 to see if it will destroy itself. And at the end, it destroys the bullet. And also, it checks if it collided with the player and destroys him and makes the game over. Next, let's make an enemy that will shoot the player. So I'll make a circle and give it a square that will present the pipe from where will the bullets come. I will make it skinnier and move it in the front of the enemy. Again, I added rigid body, collider, and enemy script. This enemy will have some additional actions, so I'll make a script dedicated to him. I have already made a function for rotating when I was making my last game that I made a video about, so you should go and watch that too. So I just took it from there and used it here too. I only had to change the names of the variables. So here it takes the player's position and calculates how much he needs to rotate. Here also something similar like that. I don't know really like what is this quaternion, like what type of rocket science is this supposed to be? What do you think? I have a degree in math? Then he rotates, but only if the rotation and the calculation are not the same. So he doesn't rotate if the result is gonna be the same. Let's see where are we right now. Oh, well, I have to put the gravity scale to 0 and I forgot to assign stuff to the script. And it actually works. Damn, I didn't expect that. Then I gave him a spawner for the bullet and added a circle as a bullet. Made it purple, scaled it, gave him a rigid body and collider and assigned it to the enemy script. Now when we check how it works, it doesn't shoot. Okay, let's add a debug function in the update that will print out the cooldown and see what we can figure out. Okay, so it looks like the fire rate is too long, so it doesn't even get to the shooting part. So let's make it 5 and test it. And it seems like it's still too long. But maybe it worked. So I'll make it 2 and it's still kinda slow. In order to not go in decimals, I'll add a multiplier here and put that one back to 20. And now, even slower. I guess it's back to 5. Okay, that's fine for now. Let's make the bullet delete the player when they collide. And of course it doesn't work. Let's see, will the bullet get destroyed? No. Ah, man. I haven't set the tag for the bullet. Of course it doesn't work. So create a tag enemy bullet and make sure to assign it to. That's very important. Let's make sure they are same. And of course they are not. Can I change the tag name somehow? I guess I'll just change it in the code. Now please work. Yes, 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 yes. Let's go. In order to make the bullets freeze when the player dies, I need a script for them where I will take the game manager and in update set the bullet velocity to 0 when the game is over. This should work off the back. Nice, it feels good to make it work from the first try. Ah, crap. So let's delete this part to fix the problem, but now we need another way of deleting the bullet. I thought of using this enemy here to find out the coordinates of the enemy's border. And in the bullet script I can delete the bullet when it goes out of the camera. And it gave this weird error. So it looks like a QWERTY must have a yield return function. Although I don't need it anymore, I just put it back in to fix the error. And that surprisingly worked. I made the camera bigger so I can see if the bullet gets deleted. And they do. I gave the same script to players' bullets and that worked too. Oh wait. One quick YouTube search on how to make certain objects not collide with each other and I found that there's a place in project settings made just for that. How convenient. So I have to decheck the square where 2 bullets cross. And the test says no. Okay. I spent the next few minutes staring at this thing wondering what have I done wrong. Until I discovered that there's a part specifically for 2D objects. And I have used the 3D one. I'm gonna go insane! Okay, it better work now. Okay, good. I won't go crazy yet. Then I just return the camera to its original size and move the enemy's bullet spawner a bit further. And that's it for the video. I really like how the game is turning out. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe, and also share with some friends that might like it too. So goodbye, and we'll see each other in the next video.